Welcome to another episode of Coffee with CEO, and we have very special guest, Mr. Nadeem Khalid. He's the CEO of Herbion Pakistan, and he's the honorary consul general of Mongolia and the current president of WWF. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Herbion Pakistan is the second largest exporter of Pakistan. So, sir, sort of brief कीजिएगा how you start your journey and how you landed as the CEO of this company.
Well, in 1995. There was an opportunity to acquire this business which was totally focused on Pakistan at that time. It was a very small setup with hardly any machines. The total employees of the company were 25 or 30 rather. So the owner of that company, who was initially the managing director of another pharmaceutical company, so he set up his own business, but he didn't have any kids and then no children to transfer this business to. So he decided to sell it off. So we at that time it was just focused on the Pakistan market and a very small setup. So we acquired this business in 1995, and we decided to take it outside the country. So it's a long history of around 27 years of continuous innovation, modernization of the plants, exploring new markets, entering new segments. And the journey, it started from Central Asia in 1997, the export journey. It started with a box of, I think there were 30 or 40 packs in that carton, which was the first export consignment. But since then we have not looked back, and this has been a continuous journey of exploring new markets, and we have been fortunately been successful in establishing a Pakistani company in those markets.
So really inspiring journey, acquiring a 25% person's company and converting into the second largest exporter of Pakistan. So what are the key challenges you faced during your journey?
Well, first of the key challenges were that the markets we decided to enter, there was no previous experience or expertise or manpower who could understand those markets or manage the operations. So that was the key challenge. Wherever we went, in all the 46 countries where we are operating right now, we were the first Pakistani pharmaceutical or natural products company to enter. So obviously, lack of understanding of those markets, commercial angles, most of those markets were emerging themselves. So there were no set distribution setups or marketing setups or in the retail. So we had to learn a lot, and in the meantime developing technologies, developing manufacturing setups, getting them certified, developing our human resources who could take this mission forward. So and simultaneously working on innovative research-based products which were not there with us at that time. So these were the challenges I think we faced.
So you are in a nutraceutical, pharmaceutical, and consumer, and lastly consumer products. So what is the opportunity in these sectors?
Well, if you compare, now this segment is called wellness. This industry is called wellness industry. Previously, it used to be called healthcare industry. Before that, it was either pharmaceutical or nutraceutical. So, well, many of these lines were not very defined. So, even now we happen to be in all these segments, but our main focus is on nature-based solutions for healthcare. But in addition to that, because we had developed those markets and the channels of marketing and distribution of health products were the same as pharmaceuticals, so we expanded into pharmaceuticals as well. So if you look at our journey right now, we are focused on pharmaceuticals, nutraceuticals, personal care products, and entering into some of the consumer products also, but all remaining focused on nature-based solution mostly, and deriving our strength from innovative products which were discovered or which were developed by our own technicians, our own specialists, our own chemists, pharmacists who are working in our R&D setup, which is a large setup right now. And we also collaborate with multiple universities, not only in Pakistan but overseas also, in the UK, in Russia, in Uzbekistan, in Malaysia.
Okay, sir. While talking about, while studying about your company, it's honored to know that your one plant from Islamabad is Dell certified GMP certification. Is the one only in Pakistan. So, what is the story behind this?
Yes, well, while we were discovering these new markets, the biggest challenge was getting our plants compliant with international regulations. So, because without these certification, it was not possible to expand ourselves. So, initially, we first of all in 2014, before anybody else, we went into the certification by PICS. PICS is one of the gold standards in the pharmaceutical industry worldwide. So, our Karachi plants, both plants, which are located in Korangi and Landi, got certified by PICS. Then and PICS is recognized by 52 developed markets in the world, global markets. In addition to that, when our main focus has been in the first 10 years of our existence was CIS, mainly Central Asia, Russia, Ukraine, Belarus. But later we decided to venture into North American markets also. So in the North American markets, we entered the US and Canada. So in Canada, it was not possible to move forward without getting this certification. So we invested a lot in technology, in developing our human resources who could transform that facility, which initially belonged to Pfizer, but those were that was set up in the early 90s for Pakistan market. So many of the international standards were not being maintained in that market. So we had to invest a lot to bring it at par with the international standards, and we got it certified by Canada. So yes, it was a big feat because it was the first plant which underwent such an inspection, and we were fortunate to get it because our earlier certification of PICS helped us in that.
Sir, great. Sir. Talking about the Herbion Pakistan, sir, you just recently celebrated your 40 years of celebration. What is your future plan?
Well, yes, these 40 years have been very challenging, and initially from when we talk about a very small setup and gradually expanding it, there was no magic in that. Obviously, it was just hard work. It was not just hard work of one person. It was a whole team which took part in that, and gradually it brought us to a level where we stand here after 40 years. And obviously, I think if you compare it with the pharmaceuticals, our field, which is that of natural products, it has much bigger markets in our scope. We can expand, I believe. Right now we are in 46 countries, rather 47, and we foresee that by 2030 we'll be covering around 100 markets, 100 countries. And as far as obviously it depends on the resources, on developing these marketing channels. It's not an easy task, but I think if our current teams and the people who are being added, not only here but in other markets also, and given the fact that e-commerce has become a key word which is a challenge also, but at the same time it provides us the opportunity to expand into much bigger markets in a very short period. So just if I tell you in the last 8 to 10 years, rather 5 years, I think 20 of the new markets were discovered through e-commerce. So the pace has increased, and I hope that in the years to come we'll be able not only to achieve our target of 100 countries worldwide globally, but by 2040 I think we'll be covering around 150 markets. And when I say this, yes, these are big numbers, but it is not impossible, because we have seen we compete with regional powers in the world, and we have seen many of those companies have expanded in these markets. So it is not impossible. It is difficult, no doubt.
Sir, we wish you best of luck for achieving your targets. Talking about the Nadeem Saab, mashallah, you are managing a ship of 2,000 plus employees. So how you define leadership, and what is the 3 characteristics of a leadership?
I was fortunate that my brother Khurram, who's currently based in Canada and looks after the marketing aspects there, we had a very ideal relationship and mutual understanding, and we shared our worldview and our business, our vision. So it was possible to develop this one. It is not a single person. We have specialists, we have marketeers, we have production people worldwide who are helping us in developing new products and developing new markets. So as a whole, I think as far as you're talking about my person, I don't give it that much credit to myself, because one person cannot do anything. Obviously, you may have a very ambitious plan, but still you need a whole setup, whole team which can accomplish those. So I think it's a combination of different factors and opportunities, and sometimes it was just luck, because starting from a very small country of Kyrgyzstan way back in 1997, which was even less developed than Pakistan at that time, but then gradually moving on to developed countries. So we have never looked back. I think the difference between our company and other companies is that they consider the easier markets to enter first. For example, they target African market. They target those countries of Asia and Africa which are underdeveloped, where the prices are also, where the competition is not that much, where the quality does not matter that much. So, but we have targeted only those markets which are highly developed, where the prices are good, where the competition is, there's saturation, there is no greenfield projects where you can take it. Obviously, sometimes you develop in the process, you develop your niche, and you are able to get some vacuum which you can fill, but most of the time there is none. So you have to fight with other brands, you have to learn from them, you have to learn from the world global trends, how they are moving. So right now, and obviously nowadays, I think artificial intelligence, that is helping us streamline our operations, getting more insights on marketing trends worldwide. We rely on the data for development of new products. We rely on data or collected from Amazon, from multiple markets. So even the designs are derived from keeping in view the inspiration we get from developed markets like Canada, US, South America, European markets. So we, I think, are at a point right now, we are ready to take off. I think whatever we have done in the last 40 years was just to prepare the base. Now it's the time to take it forward.
Okay. Sir, small question, and we need your small, quick answers. So 3 competencies you are looking in a young generation. You would like to look in a young generation. What are the 3 competencies?
First is I think the eagerness or the ability to look into issues in depth. I think our superficial understanding of phenomena, of products, of marketing, of production, of innovation, research and development cannot take you forward. So one, that is in-depth understanding of whatever you are doing. The second obviously is hard work. Without that, even if you're working or you are taking a deep dive, you won't be able to find anything if you don't work hard. And the third, I think, is well, to equip yourself with the latest knowledge, with the global trends, and keep studying not just your business books, but literature, maybe economy, politics, geography, everything. These are important factors because world is changing at a very fast pace. You have to understand it, and you cannot do it without studying. So the base itself for studying is important. So these are the three factors.
Sir, mashallah, you are already from zero to managing a second largest business, Herbion, Pakistan. So how you define success and happiness? Your mantra of success?
Well, I don't think success or happiness comes just from success. Happiness is a journey. It's basically you keep discovering your strengths, your weaknesses, and you keep improving yourself. So I think this process is, and when you find something what was lacking in you and you improve it, so that is happiness. You feel empowered, you feel happy by discovering. So just success, achieving a certain target is obviously, yes, that is necessary, but it doesn't bring happiness. Happiness is this continuous process and it never ends.
It's a never ending process. So, sir, what is your toughest decision you ever made and the key learnings?
I think the toughest decision in my life was
and tough decisions.
Yeah, so the toughest decisions came very early in my business, when I had, because the number of our partners, our family people was getting a little stretched. So we had decided to split the business, and me and my brother took one position and one section of this business. So this was very tough because to be fair to others and so that others are fair to you, so you have to and you have to forgo some things. You don't get everything from such a situation. So that was a very tough decision, but fortunately all of us have come out, I think, more content and nobody regrets it.
Mashallah, you are explored more than 40 countries. So do you justify your work-life balance?
Well, it is tough. I work around 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. But for 2 days, I do take time for my family, for my home, for my other hobbies to pursue. I love reading books. I love sailing. I am deeply involved in my work in WWF, and I love that work because that is about the conservation of nature, that is about the conservation of wildlife, and that is we are facing a very huge challenge, economy as in general and our people in particular, the effects of climate change. So I think working in that organization gives me that inspiration to move on. So I keep this, I think, my hobbies like sailing and reading literature, working for an organization which is the world leading organization on nature conservation, and managing a company which is devoted to developing nature-based solutions for healthcare. I think these things keep my work balance, work and personal life balance.
So good to hear, sir. Sir, last 2-3 small questions. You're talking about the reading books. Your favorite book?
Well, I wrote about this.
Must read that book.
Also, I've read a lot of books on politics, on economy, on literature, on. So I would not name one book as my favorite because I get inspiration from a lot of them, okay. and those are numerous because I've read classic literature. I read modern literature. I'm heavily into the movies, films, So and I watch movies which are from countries not just Hollywood or Bollywood, but from Eastern Europe, from Iran, from Korea, from China, from Russia. So this and the books also. So it keeps me motivated. But I would not name a thing, because books inspire. Then other books take over, they inspire.
Okay.
So and but if you ask me a list, I think I'll give you a list of 20 books which
and you recommend our readers to must read.
Well, I think it depends on your hobbies, on your choices. If you want to focus on business, on politics, economy, because I think today we cannot understand our business without understanding economics, without understanding politics, without understanding geopolitics. For example, our markets are affected heavily right now. For the two wars are affecting our economy hugely. So if you don't understand what is happening and what's going to happen, you don't understand. So it will jeopardize your business plans, because all our plans are dependent on how the world is reacting to it.
So noted, sir. Second last question. Mashallah, you managing a big business. So this is stress is a part of life. Stress and anger. तो मुझे लगता नहीं आप गुस्सा आता होगा. How you manage your stress or anger?
Well, fortunately, I've never experienced that situation. Obviously, there are frustrations, there are challenges in life, and you become upset. But I never take that stress that much, because after 7 or 8 o'clock, I shut off my business-related faculties and focus on what I'm doing. For example, if I'm watching a movie, I never think about, nothing crosses my mind, and if I'm reading a book, I totally focus on that. So I think it keeps me sane and healthy, because otherwise too much stress can take a toll on your health.
Great, sir. And sir, last and my favorite question, what is your message of hope and optimism to the youth and the young generation and the young CEO they are coming in the business? Sir.
Well, I think to the young generation of Pakistanis who are entering this field now, please do carefully think about your choices, about your own interests, and don't only take a decision based on those interests. Don't listen to your mentors or your parents or what they want you to become. Yes, you must listen to them, you must consider those those advices, but you choose your direction yourself. So you must understand, because one wrong step in the beginning can take you to an entirely different direction. I've seen in my own life that taking many decisions I took were wrong, and I ultimately realized that I've wasted a lot of time. But if I realized and I've thought about those decisions, probably I would have a better direction from the very beginning. So this is, and the hope is that Pakistani economy and the world economy, though there are challenges, we have all sorts of problems. We have unemployment, we have a population bulging, we have our infrastructure is not highly developed, but there's the opportunity to build this country, to build a better environment for the people. But also always consider that whatever you're doing must bring something positive to the society, to your surroundings, to the environment. Don't violate those principles which contribute towards increase the problems faced by Pakistanis. Do help people. Whatever you do, please transfer some of those benefits to people who are working with you and people working around you or in your communities. I think younger generation, what I feel in business is that their understanding, their knowledge, their scope, they have a lot of positive to contribute to Pakistan and the world economy.
Sir, thank you so much for your time, and inshallah looking forward to see such story in our upcoming book. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.